Nithyanandam. This is Ma Nithya Sarvamangala bringing Paramamsa Nithyananda Swamiji's blessings to all of you today. Today I wanted to answer a couple of questions that I have seen posted. One is regarding depression. How people are trying and not able to get out of it. And it hurts them, obviously. It's painful. Even at that moment, if you do not realize it, it always haunting you at the back of your mind. It's a persistently there in your life. It's an underlying theme. So, wanted to share what Swamiji is offering in terms of a solution for depression, whether it is caused by guilt, fear, pain. Sometimes we do not even know the root because it has gone in so deep. It's at your subconscious layers. So, what is the method that effectively works? See, Swamiji has given us many techniques, many methods, many processes to overcome all these negative emotions, negative thoughts, and overcome all these limitations, self-limitations, whether we perceive it in that way or not. Anything that holds us down is self-limiting. It's a human limitation. It does not exist in reality. So how do we make that happen so we also can enjoy that limitlessness, the endless possibilities that is our part of our consciousness, that is the true self that we have. So in particular I wanted to address these in this video. In what practical way we can do it? See, Swamiji is given many techniques. So, but the most effective, the most immediate where you can feel immediately and experience a change and the shift is a beautiful program that Swamiji is giving to everybody called Nithya Kriya Yoga. It's a 4-day program where we go through all the 5 layers in our koshas, as they are called, koshas in our system, and cleanse them systematically. So all these what we call all these different emotions get embedded in our different layers. An emotion layer, in my intuition layer, in an imagination layer, Vijnanamaya kosha. The causal layer. Causal layer is much more deeper inside, where the emotions are created from previous lives, past lives. So there's no way we can logically try to trace through to any event that is creating this emotional reaction or a thought pattern or a fear or a worry. It might just be there and we would not know the cause. So in this particular program, you're taken through systematically through time-tested ancient methods and processes and initiation which only an avatar can give you to bring all that out and cleanse it, remove it from the system. So the whole cleansing process happens. So once it comes out, now they no longer, even though the memory may be there, if you happen to trace it to an incident or an event in your life, the memory will be there, but it will not have it will not bother you as much as it bothered you before. It will not take you to depression. It will not take you to the fears, the pains. It's like Swamiji gave a beautiful analogy when he explained it first. He said, when you have a picture file, for people who are more into technology, when you see, when you want to play a video on your laptop, for example, when you start it, depending on your system, it takes a few minutes to open up, because it is videos and all that are heavy, big files. Whereas if you open it as a simple text file, which only has some written words, it opens very quickly. So that is the difference between the speed with which, when we have a memory which is loaded with emotions and pain and grief and all that, it becomes like the video file which takes time to load up. And once we remove all that emotional baggage, the negative baggage, it becomes like a test file with how it stays there in your memory. You still have the memory, but it will not carry the pain and the grief that it had before. So when that leaves you, you feel so much relief and so much lighter. First is the emotional relief and all that, but you will physically feel the difference, because emotions and all these what we're talking about actually have weight. Swamiji calls them subtle weight. So we can only experience it. It's not like easily measurable because it's very, very small, minute, but you can experience it. And so what are the things that that will fall under these categories? It's easy to say, well, it's easy for us to identify pain, guilt, fears, and all of that. But there are a lot of people who have questions like, who may not have all of these bothering them, but they may have everything in life, like a good job, a family, everything is going well for them, but there's some kind of a dissatisfaction. There's not that top of the world feeling, I am on the top of the world. You don't have that feeling in your life. So that means you're missing something. Whether we are able to identify that and to any particular event, or just stays as a feeling where you're going about doing your things, you're happy, but you're not at the top of the world, which you should be technically speaking. If you're materially successful, you have a good happy family life, you have a good network of family relations and friends, so what else is there in life? Given today's understanding, this should constitute everything you need to be a successful and happy person. But still, there is something that will not allow you to be at that state. So when you have these kind of ideas, or you have very stark emotional issues that you recognize, which is easy, because when we have those kind of issues, usually they're expressed. When you're expressed, somebody gives you the feedback, so you know it's an issue. For some people who do not express, it starts bothering them inside. So if you're carrying anything like that, or if you have questions about what is beyond life and death, is this all there is to life, or something, or you do not have a passion in life, you live, you do things because it is what everybody is doing, but it is not really your passion, it's not something you would give your life to. So these are the things which actually tell that there is a gap in us. Somewhere we have some kind of a dissatisfaction. Somewhere we have something that is bothering us inside, which is not letting us be our full expression of living every moment at the fullest. So when these kind of things are there inside you, sometimes they may manifest as a chronic health issue. You may have just an allergy, or it may be a small thing actually. It may not be a big issue like a major health issue, but it will be small things. These are the symptoms that with which you can identify there is something that is bothering you inside that you need to clear, or get clarity, or make a decision and move forward. That is holding you back. It can be just a small knee pain occasionally, but it's a persistent one. Physical pain, emotional pain, or a passing guilt. It doesn't bother you all the time because it only comes up once in a while, but it is sitting in your subconscious. Events that have happened long time ago, even though they do not stay in your memory, but if they come up occasionally and you remember them and it bothers you in some way, know that it needs to be cleared, because it is going to be like a thorn in you that will manifest in some way, either in a big way or a small way, but nevertheless it will bother you. And regardless of the physical manifestation of it, it will in some way limit you. Sometimes we avoid recognizing its impact until much later, and these subtler things are much more difficult to trace through in terms of impact. So what I'm sharing here with you is some of the ways you can identify where you are standing in regards to life and living life at your best and the fullest. So what Swamiji says is, we are here, we do not have a purpose, we are here to live life and fulfill whatever we want. It could be a passing desire, it could be a deep-rooted desire, it could be a passion, whatever that is. So anything that is not letting you live at this moment, it could be a thought or some memory or anxiety that's holding you back. When things are happening around you, you are thinking something else, you are somewhere else mentally or emotionally, then you are not there at the moment. You're not living life as it is happening now. Life happens only in the now, not in the past, not in the future. So these are some of the ways you can measure where you are in terms of where you are with living your fullest the fullest way you can actually. Because when you go for school, or you want to eat out, or you want to watch something, you obviously would want to do the best, isn't it? You want to have the best foods, you want to go to the best school, so you can have the best, you can enjoy the best, you can be the recipient of the best that is available to you. So you know that you did your best for yourself. The same way, this is where your measure is. So this, when you start clearing all this, what happens? First, as I told you, if it's pain, obviously you will feel a lot of relief, physically relieving, because it does make a change in your physical, in your structure somewhere, in your layers. We have 7 bodies, so in all these different frequencies which we cannot see, there will be a change. And when you feel lighter, your frequencies go up. So you can tangibly experience it. But beyond that, what does it manifest as? It will manifest as more energy. Now all these blocks that have been holding you down, now once they are released, those energy pathways are released, the energy flow is much more smoother, much more all-rounded. So you will feel tremendous energy, and you will have a lot more clarity without all of these persistent nagging thoughts, emotions and uncertainties. You can make decisions much more, you can see through things much easily. You will be able to, your intuition, your clarity, your decision making will improve tremendously. So what I'm speaking is not just theory, it is something I have experienced. My very first NKY program was back in 2009 when it happened in Chennai, and it was one of the at that time I did not realize the changes, but I know after I went back I saw so many changes in my experience of life, what was happening with me, the way I was perceiving things, the way the depth to which it had changed. So these since I've done most of the programs, I can tell you that all of them, what I'm speaking, come from experience of doing the program, of living here, of seeing people who have experienced it, and personally experiencing everything that Swamiji says has a purpose, a reason, an effect, a benefit for every one of them. There's nothing, there's a small thing, oh I know this, no. Even if he says something, you know, the depth from which he says is something different. So when you do it, it has a different effect. It goes much more deeper. The changes. We have 7 layers. Can you even imagine what that means? Do you even know what that means? Where they are? What are they doing? Do you know where they are? What they do? No. But when you do these programs, you will start experiencing those layers in you. Only then you will start realizing you are not just the body. You are not just a human as we've been led to believe, but something more. And in those layers, we have not been educated, we are not aware, we don't know what to do, we don't know how to go about. So we need to learn. So that is what Swamiji is teaching us in all these very, very many programs, through his satsangs, through his videos. So there's no such thing as, oh I know it, it's logic, it's simple logic. And this is what all scriptures say. No. The power of his word, the power of his, the Vak Shakti with which he says, or which he looks, or which he, just by his presence itself, there's so many things that happen in us without our without our awareness, without our knowledge, and just being in this field or kshetra of Bengaluru Adinam has that power, because this is one of the places where he's present everywhere. His presence is very, very tangible. And that is why for all programs it is best if you can come and be present here in Bengaluru Adinam and do it, or do it via two-way centers. Even though most programs are available online and you can do it from your home, it is best to do it from a place where Swamiji has created these heavens of energy fields where we can experience a lot of this transformation and shifts to a greater depth. So I just wanted to share about this program, because one of the program which has the most, it actually takes you to a next level which you can experience in yourselves. And now with all the Shaktis being given and coming with all the programs, so the most beautiful Shaktis that you get in this program is one of body scanning, where Swamiji is going to open your third eye, and with it you will learn how to scan a person and see what is the problem with them. what is causing what is the root of their problem. It may not it'll always be something more than what you think or what the other person may think, and the scan always reveals the most immediate problem that he needs to address. It may not be the problem he's thinking about or what he feels is bothering him, but it will be the problem he needs to address first. So that is the third eye. His body scanning with the third eye, and also mind reading. So mind reading is, unlike the word suggests, it is not about reading somebody's mind, seeing what they're thinking, what they're feeling. No, it is about identifying the blocks, the thinking, the mental blocks that we carry in our thinking process that is inhibiting that person from expressing some aspect of themselves, that is limiting that person, that they are suffering from the limitation. They may recognize it, or sometimes they may not until told. But when the block is in, for most of the time, we can actively complete it and be free of it forever. So that is the purpose of mind reading. So Swamiji awakens your Kundalini Shakti, so your whole energetic system gets a fresh flow, and without all these with all the blocks removed, now the energy is moving in much more smoother, much more efficiently, and you feel the benefit of it immediately in your systems. And so I suggest all of you I highly recommend this program to every one of you to do and try it and see the benefits and see the powers. See, it's not just that you have this power and you do it on yourself. You practice only for yourself. You need to share it with others. So because all of this, and you will automatically do it, because all of these powers come from the space of oneness, the space of Advaita, which we experience. Because we experience it, we always want to share it with others. So it automatically is a benefit, the transformation that happens in oneself. So the next program is coming up this week actually. It is on May 25th and goes up to May 29th. So I will post the link so you can see all these details and also sign up. So looking forward to seeing all of you here in Bengaluru Adinam or from any of the other locations we have or worldwide. If you have any questions particularly about this program, any doubts, queries, please post them in the comment section and I will get back to you. Thank you for listening. Nithyanandam.